Okay, guys. أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد رسول الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن سيدنا مولانا محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وسلم وبعد. Do you guys know that Starbucks is haram? Anyways, this is actually made homemade. It's for 50 cents. My wife goes to enjoy the Starbucks and ask her to bring me the cups so I can make my coffee and pretend that I want Starbucks. No, really, it's pretend, just because I think it's fancy. You know? So weird.
Tried everything.
Do you guys go to Starbucks? Do you go to Starbucks?
Yeah, if I want to have money in my
You go to Starbucks. Guys, don't go to Starbucks. Don't go to Starbucks. I don't have money. It's very expensive. You can make your coffee at home for 50 cents.
No.
Really. Like, if you're responsible, don't go to Starbucks. But if your family is giving you money, whatever.
Did you know caffeine is actually a drug?
Caffeine is a drug. That is decaf. That's a pretty Okay. Do you guys know how coffee started? Sufism. Sufism actually started the coffee, so it's an Islamic tradition. Yeah.
Starbucks is Islamic tradition.
You know why they did that? To be able to stay up at night to do Qiyam al-Layl. But now we have coffee not to do Qiyam al-Layl, of course. We only take coffee, we go to work, we never study. But Muslims actually start this tradition. But they never used to add milk to it and all that stuff. Cream. That's the bid'ah part about it. Yeah, listen to that. Okay, that's because you know it's bid'ah. Okay. That's the lollipop. If you guys answer any question, you can hit the lollipop.
Can I have the orange one?
No.
Is this on the top?
It's on this.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. I just want to thank you and say Jazakallahu khairan for being able to come today and being patient until now. That's alhamdulillah we're half through. Now of course, today is the revision. Next time, subhanAllah, we have that second test. Perfect, guys. You have done a lot of work, subhanAllah. You have attended 20 classes. 22 classes. Right. What's your name?
What?
Yeah.
Are
you registered in the class?
Sorry?
Are you registered?
No, we just came.
I would love for you to be registered, inshallah, if you can. Yeah. And what's your name?
Hassan.
Hassan. You're not registered, Hassan.
No.
And you?
Sajid.
Sajid. Okay, if you guys want to be registered, just let me know, inshallah. Then I'll fight with Abdullah here. Yeah, he's my authority. Okay. Listen to that. So you have attended 22 classes. That's too many classes for you guys, inshallah. On top of your school schedule, on top of some of you are working already, inshallah, part-time. That's, inshallah, that's exactly what you should be doing at your age. You should be as active as you can, because at some point in your life, you're not going to be able to do the same thing you're doing right now. So now you're building. You're building, because at some point you have to be giving. You're not going to have time to build anymore. You're not going to have time to build anymore at some points, right? So now you're building your Islamic knowledge. You're laying the foundation for Islamic knowledge, and we're trying to make it as easy as possible. We're not making it hard for you. Sometimes we speak about tazkiyah, sometimes we speak about fiqh, sometimes we speak about hadith, and the reason for this is because these 40 hadith are all about the foundations of Islam. The principles of Islam are not only tazkiyah, are not only usul al-fiqh, are not only hadith, they cover every other part of Islam. Of course, we're not covering every single aspect in details, But we are trying our best to know the foundations of how to understand our tradition. That's basically what the 49 Hadith is all about. The foundation of Hadith. And that's why you find always in the explanation of Imam Ibn Rajab al-Hanbali in Jami' al-Ulum al-Hikam, he always says, Abu Dawud says that these 4 ahadith are the foundation of Islam. At-Tirmidhi said these 5 ahadith are the foundation of fiqh. These 3 ahadith are the foundation of akhlaq. And that's why you always hear us saying here. So once you know these 49 ahadith, that is your basically the foundation, and then you can start from there. Our teachers always used to tell us that we're not here to make you scholars. We're not here to make you scholars. At Al-Azhar, we're not here to make you scholars. We're here to give you the keys, and then you are going to continue to become a scholar. You're just here to have the keys, where to search, how to understand, how to read, and then you go do it yourself. One tool is Arabic language. Now I understand, if I don't know Arabic language, and I can't speak Arabic fluently, I would not be able to understand Islam properly. Foundation. There's no argument about this. You don't have to be an Arab, but you have to know Arabic language. Right? Another foundation we learned. Taking Islam literally, only going to translations, is going to lead to misunderstanding and misimplementations. That's a given. You know, foundations like these, right? So these are what we're trying to learn here together. Let's see. Hadith number 11. This hadith is about the doubtful matters. Leave that which causes you doubt, that which doesn't cause you doubt. That's hadith number 11, basically. So my question to you, we're going to think together, inshallah ta'ala, today. What is the best approach to the doubtful matters? We live in doubtful matters, a doubtful time, in fact. What is the best approach?
To avoid it, or just
that is the best approach for yourself. Exactly. If you're exactly wara. It's called wara. Okay, this is for you. Which color?
any color is fine.
So you have red t-shirt? Okay.
Thank you.
So the best approach, I'm going to give you an accent. So the best approach is, if you don't have time to study, the student of knowledge, and you're confused, and you go online, there's a website with reliable scholars saying something, and another website with some other reliable scholars saying something else, and I don't know what is the rajah, what is the stronger opinion. I don't know the strongest opinion in this particular issue. So it's better for you always, the bottom line is to avoid it. If you can. But if you can't, and if it's a state of necessity, you have to do more research and find a scholar who can give you a permission for your particular case. So the best thing is to do research. If you can't, is to avoid the doubtful matters. But if you're going to give fatwa, one of the foundations of giving fatwa, and that's always what I tell you guys. We're talking about foundations here. One of the foundations of giving fatwa is أخذ نفسي بالعزيمة وأخذ الناس أو إعطاء الناس الرخصة. So in Islam we have عزيمة and رخصة. For example, one of the most common examples that we're not going to discuss is eating a Burger King. Right? So we have عزيمة and we have رخصة. عزيمة means what? عزيمة means being strict. Azima, strictness. So the strict opinion here is not to eat a Burger King because I have some doubts that it might be the riha or not, fried in the same oil, whatever, all this complexity, right? So the azima, I take myself as a mufti or as a scholar or someone who's given the answer. You take yourself with the azima. Like for example, in the class, I have to come to every class, but you guys don't have to come to every class. You can make excuses. But for the teacher, I have to take azima for myself. And then I give people, that's one of the foundations of rukhsa. I give people a rukhsa. What is rukhsa? Rukhsa means what? Rukhsa is permission. The rukhsa is the permission to do the doubtful matter. Okay, Harris? So when people come to me and ask me about Burger King, I don't eat at Burger King. Before I got married, I used to, except in very limited circumstances. There's no other options, and actually all get milkshake from there. Last time we did that was like a very long time ago. But to go get a beef burger, that's impossible. I never did that, except before I got married because I didn't know. Because I came from Egypt with the mentality of in Egypt we eat Burger King, we eat McDonald's, right? But here I found, no, it's not that. That was like 7 years ago. Before I learned that stuff about Canada. So I now take myself with azima and give people a rukhsa. Please write down these two words. They might be in your test. The word al-azima and al-rukhsa. What is azima? Azima is the strictness, being strict. And al-rukhsa is the permission. So I do azima and give people al-rukhsa as a mufti or as someone who's answering questions. Another point here is we talked about when you have some doubt in your prayers. When you have some doubt in your prayers, what do you do? I have a doubt that if I prayed 3 rak'at or 4 rak'at, what do I do? You guys know the answer, huh?
Don't repeat it.
Don't repeat the prayer, but what am I supposed to do? How to fix my prayer? Now I prayed Asr, and I'm not sure if I prayed 3 or 4. Isn't it?
Are you supposed to go with the rakat that are less?
With the certainty, exactly, because the certainty is the list number here. Oh, here. There's no blue, but this is the closest to t-shirts. Okay, that's green. Right? So if I have a doubt, I pray 3 or 4. Sisters, please feel free to raise your hands, right? So I have a doubt, pray 3 or 4. Which one is the yaqeen and which one is shak? Yaqeen is certainty and shak is doubt. So 3 or 4, which one is certainty?
3.
For sure. I am sure I prayed 3.
Because you need to pray 3 to pray 4, right?
Exactly. I need to pray the 3 first to add the 4th. So I am sure that I prayed what? 3. That's the yaqeen. But a shak is the 4. So I give preference to the yaqeen, to the certainty, and I add the 4th, and then I do sujood sahw. That's if you have doubt in your prayer every once in a while. Please don't forget that. But if you have a lot of doubt almost in every prayer, like I had some family members like that, she can be praying, and then she can be praying behind me, and all of a sudden she leaves the prayer. Where did you go? I had to go to the bathroom to renew my wudu. And nothing happened. And that happens in every prayer when we have to pray together. Sometimes she used to cry because she could not finish the prayer. If she wanted to pray Dhuhr and Asr, she could have stayed like for 3-4 hours praying Dhuhr and Asr. Because of how much doubt she has, and how many times she has to repeat the wudu, and the tahara, and the prayer. So that became what? Not shak, it became waswas. What should I do with waswas? One of the foundations is a shak. I don't know if you can read this in Arabic, but a shak is a kathur, when the doubt is too much, فَلَا عِبْرَةَ بِهِ. It's disregarded. That is what the foundations of fiqh. You have too much doubt. This means the problem is with you, it's not with the reality of the prayer or the ibadah you're doing. No, you have a problem. And the way to fix that problem is to disregard that. Just move on. Forget about the doubt you have. Awesome. So now we have the doubt. I have 2 cases. Number 1 is once in a while. So now we built on the certainty and we leave the doubt. And if it's too much, it's waswas, forget about it. That's how to solve the issue of waswas. Even in your life. I had waswas actually in my relationships. I'm not joking. Yeah. Until today. Now.
Could you repeat those words that you explained?
Doubt is shak. Yaqeen is certainty. Waswas is too much doubt. So doubt, shak, too much doubt, waswas, yaqeen, certainty. Now.
Waswas by being too much doubt, is it whispers of shaitan?
It could be, and it could be mental as well.
Okay.
It could be mental. Because a part of it, always there's a dimension, a spiritual dimension to a problem, which could be the shaitan. But there's a mental dimension as well. It could be mental, that you're stressed or something. And there could be that you're struggling financially, and that's making you grumpy and doubting stuff. So there are different dimensions. No, this shaitan came and changed your life. No. Right? In hadith number 13, the next point I would like to focus on with you. In hadith number 13, لا يؤمن أحدكم is not a believer. None of you would be a believer. Would have iman until he loves for people what he loves for himself. In the hadith that you have, حتى يحب لأخيه, until he loves for his brother what he loves for himself. But the other narration that we discussed together is حتى يحب للناس, until you love for people what you love for yourself. Because you love for non-Muslims to be Muslims already. You don't like for them to be kuffar. You don't like that because you want them to be Muslims. Because you love for yourself to be Muslims. One of the points here is that we talked about 3 important words in our approach to Sharia. 3 approaches in understanding Sharia. Number 1 was tafsir. Tafsir. The second word we used was ta'wil. Ta'wil. Number 3 is tahrif. Tahrif. So the first word is tafsir. Tafsir is interpretation. When I interpret the Quran through the Quran, I understand the Quran through the Quran, through the Sunnah of Rasulullah, through the sayings of the Sahaba, through the Arabic language. That's tafsir, and that's accurate. Number 2 is ta'wil. Who remembers what ta'wil is? Very important. You need to know what ta'wil is. We discussed this in the entire class. The entire class will avoid these 3 words. Ta'wil ya Abd al-Ghani. Wait. You're not Abd al-Ghani? So what's your name?
My name comes from the source of An'ama. An'ama yun'aimu
Mun'im.
Mun'im.
No, I hope I don't forget this again. One of the best students, I don't forget his name. That's not shaitan, by the way.
Is it that ta'wil has 2 meanings? One is direct and one is indirect?
Mm-hmm. And what do you do? Ta'wil you have 2 meanings. One is direct, and the second is indirect. Once is that once you read it, here. One, you have 2 meanings of the text you have. So this text has 2 meanings. One meaning is direct. Once you read the words, you understand something directly. But there's another meaning behind the text. In ta'wil, what do? We leave the direct meaning and we take the indirect meaning. Serious? Yes, serious. Why? Because لسبب. You have to have a dalil. You have to have an evidence. Like here we explained about the whole class when Rasulullah said لا يؤمن. Last Friday. What did last Friday? I was talking about neighbors. Rasulullah said Wallahi la yu'min. I did not explain this in November. I will tell you why. Rasulullah said Wallahi la yu'min. Wallahi, he is not a believer. 3 times. Wallahi, he is not a believer. Wallahi, he is not a believer. The one, his neighbors are not safe from his, the one whose neighbor are not safe from his harm. I left it at this. That's how the scholars of Hadith used to narrate the Hadith. They'll explain it. Because if I told them, Wallahi la yu'min, Wallahi is not a believer, if I told them, Rasulullah is talking about complete Iman, but the root of Iman is still there, nobody's going to respect the neighbor. And that's why the scholars to leave it at this. Wallahi la yu'min, what does it mean? It means Wallahi la yu'min. What does it mean? Wallahi la yu'min. It means Wallahi la yu'min, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And then if I find someone making takfir of people, now I can stop them and come here. Wallahi la yu'min means, I swear to Allah, he doesn't have a perfect Iman, but the root of Iman is still there. And the way you understood this is because Rasulullah described the believer as a tree. If the leaves fall, the leaves have fallen and the branches are gone, the roots are still there. So the root is La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah, even if you harm your neighbor. So that's the difference between what you say on the minbar and what you say in the halaqat. Don't go on the minbar and tell them that. They will not follow the hadith. The scholars never did that. But when you explain it, you have to do it. So ta'wil is what? Wallahi la yu'min is a kafir. That's direct meaning. I leave this direct meaning and they go to the indirect meaning. Wallahi, he doesn't have a complete iman. But the roots of iman are there because that's a ta'wil. So tafsir, we talk about it. Ta'wil, direct and indirect. Tahrif. Tahrif is to completely change the meaning. والتين والزيتون الحسن والحسين. جنان معدس. جنان حرفي يعني literal madness. خلاص؟ لا تقربوا الزنا. Don't come near zina. Everything is okay, but don't come near zina. Near zina. I don't know even how do you say it. لا تقربوا, it means it's okay to commit zina, but don't come near it. I don't know how. Like, don't come near it like other stuff. Like, you know, the other actions, other than the actual zina. Because Allah is not saying لا تزنوا. Do you see what I'm saying? Allah said لا تزنوا. He did not say don't commit zina, which means committing zina is okay. But the problem is getting closer to zina. Like having girlfriends or the other stuff that you do before the actual zina. How did they reach that conclusion? Only Allah knows. Only Allah knows.
Whose opinion was this again?
I mean, there are, the last one I heard him saying that is his name is Shahrur. Type Shahrur, I'll go find this guy. He's an old guy. I think he's Syrian or something. Okay. Al-Iman has three components. Al-Iman has three components. He also, you know what he said? He said also that smoking in the day in Ramadan during the day is halal as well. Because it's not eating or drinking. And you see people saying that and the only response to this is what? There's a polite response and there's an impolite response. Let's say that, yeah, this guy. Just read what he has to say and you will know that this guy is about Allah in its speak. I'm so tired. Okay guys? Okay guys, just leave him alone for now. He also said, I think he is the one who said smoking during the day in Ramadan is not haram as well. Yeah, mashallah. Really? Mashallah, subhanallah. Too much knowledge. Okay, Al-Iman has three components. Al-Iman has three components. One is the heart. In Iman, in belief, three things must be involved. It's a qawl bil-lisan, the tongue, the saying with your tongue. وَتَصْدِيقٌ بِالْجَنَانِ, and belief with your heart, so we have the tongue and the heart. وَعَمَلٌ بِالْجَوَارِحِ وَالْأَرْكَانِ, and action you take with your, with your body. So actions. I don't know if you can write this down. That's the قول باللسان, تصديق بالجنان, وعمل بالجوارح والأركان. That's the Arabic. So you have saying with your tongue, and then you have your heart involved, and then you have your actions. So somebody comes to you and tells you, the iman is in my heart. Why are you judging me? No, I can't judge you. Okay, if you want. Because the iman is not only in your heart. I'm going to be nice about it. I'm not going to offend you. But I can't judge you this action. Somebody has a huge beard and is doing bad things. I mean, the iman is only in his beard. Right? But the problem is that the heart is the corrupt. There's a lot of those people. Right? So one of the ahadith that combines these three pillars of iman is when Rasulullah said sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, al-iman bid'un wa sab'una shu'ba. Iman is 73. Bid'a means number from 3 to 9. 70 some branches. The Rasul said, an iman is 70 some branches because bid'a is from 3 to 9. So it could be anything. So 70 some branches of Iman. He said, the peak أعلاها قول لا إله إلا الله. The highest of it is with your tongue. قول لا إله إلا الله. وأدناها, and the lowest branch of Iman, إماطة الأذى, is to remove harm from the way of people. To remove the branch, to remove harm from the people, the way of people. And then he said, وَالْحَيَاء, modesty is a branch of Iman. Haya is in your heart. So qawl with your tongue, removing harm with your hand, and modesty in your heart. Of course, modesty can manifest in your actions, but this is one of the hadith that tells us that Iman has three components: heart, tongue, and body. That can be your test, guys. Are you scared? No.
Wait, so is the tongue is the highest one, or is tongue number one, or is it just listening?
Look, all of them go hand in hand, but the most important is your heart. Is your heart if corrupt? على الدنيا السلامة. That's it. If your heart is corrupt, it doesn't matter what you do, how you look like, what you say. Allah is gonna take care of you. Allah fix our hearts. Because the Prophet said, إن الله لا ينظر إلى صوركم. Allah does not look at your figures. He's not going to be impressed with how long your beard is. Yes, he likes it as sunnah, and Rasulullah used to do it, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Or how beautiful your thobe is. That's not what he cares about. صوركم, your figures. ولا إلى أجسامكم, your body. That's not what he cares about. ولكن ينظر إلى قلوبكم. That's why I always tell you what, if you're in this class and your intention is anything other than learning and implementing and preaching, please get up and go. Because you're wasting your time. خلاص? I'm actually skipping a lot of points here because, remember the hadith, in hadith number 14, about the hudud. The Prophet said, لا يحل دم امرئ مسلم. The blood of a believer is not halal except under three circumstances. What about the blood of the non-believer? We did not talk about this part. The non-Muslims, guys, are four kinds. Please write this down, let's review this. We did not talk about this, but it's very foundational. Non-Muslims are four kinds of people. Four kinds of people. Non-Muslims. Number one, please write this down, and this is going to be the first question you test. You're not cheating, professional cheating, halal cheating. Number one is mu'ahad. Mu'ahad. Mim, ayn, alif, ha, dal. Mu'ahad. Because you live with non-Muslims. And you go sit with people in private meetings, they tell you, look at this kuffar. Their money is halal for us. And they keep backbiting them. They cheat in their tax return. They do all they want because they think they're just kuffar. Okay? Okay, let's go talk about the kuffar. Let's see what Islam says about kuffar. Number one is called mu'ahad. What is mu'ahad? Mu'ahad is someone who has a ahad with you. Ahad means agreement. Someone that you have, between you and him, there's a treaty, there's a covenant, there's an agreement. Like what? You guys remember that Egypt and Israel, they had fight. That the 1973, the war, right? And then they had the peace treaty. So until today they cannot fight because they have a peace treaty. Peace treaty. So if you have a peace treaty with a country, you cannot touch them. You have peace treaty. In the Sunnah of Rasulullah, we have Sulh al-Hudaybiyah, the Treaty of Hudaybiyah. He agreed with the Kuffar for 10 years, we're not going to fight. Fast. It can be temporary or permanent. That's number one. It's not my business what his religion is, what his belief is. I have a treaty with him, khalas. Now we have the international law. The international law that you cannot have peace treaty with everyone unless he attacks you in the world. That's the context of today. The second is musta'man. Musta'man. comes from aman. Aman means security or safety. Musta'man. You're gonna like this one. Musta'man is someone who came from Darul Harb. You know Darul Harb? There's a country that is in war with us. We are in war right now. We are fighting at the moment. People are killing each other right now. And we have people doing it now in the world. But there's someone from this country wants to travel to another country for any reason, like diplomats today, for example. You know, at the time of war, you don't need to stay there. But if he took the visa to come for business, study, for treatment, for any other reason, he came and he had the visa. This visa means aman. You have security, I can't touch you. And if one of my people touches him, he goes to jail. Because he has what? Aman. That's what Islam teaches us. It's a nation of war with us. Yes, I know. But that's aman. Musta'man. So we have mu'ahad. There's an agreement between us, a treaty, peace treaty. Musta'man. He has a visa to come to my country. Number 3, al-dhimmi. Dhimmi. Dhimma means protection. Dhimmi is someone under my protection. Like what? Like non-Muslims living in Muslim lands. They deserve protection. And they're equal under the law of this land. Muslims and non-Muslims. The non-Muslim pays jizya and the Muslim pays zakah. And we're all equal under the law of the land. Clear? A non-Muslim kills harms a Muslim, he has to be held accountable for that. A non-Muslim harms a Muslim, again, the same thing. So they are equal under the law. The 4th kind is muharib. Somebody had his sword and he's coming to kill you. Should I go? I'm peaceful. I don't like to fight. I'm not confrontational. I'm just so cute, Okay, kill me. Right? No, that's different. That's self-defense. You had a gun and he wants to kill you. Do all you can to defend yourself. And if you die, you're a shaheed. But, how many people have done this to you? No. How many people have come to you? Let's go to the reality. I've come to you in Canada with a gun. How many people have done this? Nobody. So you need to learn that you have to be peaceful with all of them because they are musta'man or mu'ahad or dhimmi. So maybe the first question you test. I want to see how you can answer this.
What was the second
question?
That wasn't the first one?
Third one?
The tafsir and so on. Okay. These two are going to be the first one.
What was the third?
First one was
Mu'ahad, he has an ahad, he has an agreement, treaty between me and him, between the countries. Number 2 is musta'man, diplomats, or people who migrated for different reasons. Migrants. Immigrants for different reasons. Number 3 is dhimmi, non-Muslims who live under the Muslim authority. Protected. And then number 4 is the muharib. He comes to help, to have war with you. The Prophet said what it is? لا تتمنى. Do not wish to encounter your enemy more. He said that. That's what he said. Not me. I don't want to fight with you, but you're going to fight with me. ولكن إذا لقيتموهم فاصبروا. I'll have to have patience and fight back. Unfortunately. 3 types of neighbors. Who remembers them? Abu Latif, you didn't think of another? Somebody else. Somebody else. The 3 types of sharia.
The Muslim who has one right or two rights, but he is your neighbor and is a Muslim. One who is your relative and is Muslim, so he has your right of neighbor, right of kinship, and right
Yes.
of Muslim.
Excellent. So you have no Muslim neighbor here, in this side, that has one right. The right of the neighbor, huge right next to him, right? The Muslim neighbor right here, Dr. Ibrahim, 2 rights, Muslim and neighbor. Your brother who lives next to you, 3 rights. Muslim, relative, and neighbor. Plus, please write this down. Being your test. Oh, we have too many colors here. Which color you want?
Any color.
We only have green, yellow, orange, and red. Good. Okay, let's see if we have any more points here that we discuss. I'm actually skipping a lot of points because they're not as important. You guys just go to the recordings. 4 conditions of the dhabiha. 4 conditions for the dhabiha to be halal. We're not going to talk about hunting animals today. That's not the class for this. But inshallah, I will prepare for that inshallah. But what are the 4 conditions? Does anybody remember them? Last time we discussed them. Who remembers them?
Name of Allah to be mentioned. Like the name.
Okay, number 1, the name of Allah should be mentioned. Should or must?
Must.
No. Some scholars said it's sunnah. Who said mention the name of Allah is a sunnah?
Shafi.
Al-Imam al-Shafi'i
And Hanbal.
and Imam Ahmad al-Hanbal in one of his 2 opinions. So Imam al-Shafi'i said, if the name of Allah is not mentioned on the zabiha, it's still halal. Yeah,
What's the condition? No condition?
what condition? You forgot. You know what? Imam Abu Hanifa and Malik and Ahmad ibn Hanbal in his second opinion, they say it's a wajib, but if you forgot, it's okay. Remember when Rasulullah people came to us, Ya Rasulullah, in the qawman ya'tuna bil-lahm, people come to us with meat. لا ندري أذكر اسم الله عليها. We don't know that they have mentioned Allah's name on it. Allah's name on it when they were slaughtering it. فقال النبي اذكروا اسم الله وكلوا. You say Bismillah and eat. And stop causing me headache. Say Bismillah and eat. But that's not what we do. That's not what we do. Why? Just because. Just because. I want to be so strict. Khalas, take yourself with what? Remember? What do you follow? If you're gonna give people answers to doubtful matters, what do you do to yourself?
Alina?
Azima.
Azim.
You have azima, strictness for yourself. But you give people what? Rukhsa. You give you permission. But if you do the other way around, it's hypocrisy. Some people do this. They do the rukhsa. I eat a Burger King because you have 2 opinions. But when people come and ask me, I will be strict because I want to tell them I'm religious. It's haram to eat there. Hypocrites. Huh? Khalas, the number 1 is to mention Allah's name. It's wajib, and some scholars said it's sunnah. What's number 2? Ishtiyaq.
Make sure like the weapon that you're killing with is sharp. So
Yes, the weapon should be sharp enough. They have to mention the rest of them to take this. You have blue. You take the green one.
the weapon has to be sharp. The animal can be caused pain.
The animal cannot.
The jugular vein has to bleed.
Exactly. I have to cut the jugular veins, and the blood has to flow. The blood has to flow from its body, from the jugular veins. And the weapon I'm using has to be very sharp.
It's either people that can eat that.
Thank you. That is the most important one. Who is doing it? Who is slaughtering the animal? Because you live in Canada now. Not everyone who slaughters your animal is a Muslim. So you have to also mention the person who's doing it. Muslim or people of the book. What if he's a Muslim who doesn't pray? Muslim doesn't pray.
He has la ilaha illallah.
And he says La ilaha illallah, so he's a Muslim. You eat from him, from his meat. Not Muslim, but he believes that Jesus is Allah. How can I determine that? Go ahead and determine. Rasulullah said, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, هَلَكَ الْمُتَنَطِّعُونَ. You're mutanaqta'. Mutanaqta' means you're just being mutanaqta'. What's the meaning of mutanaqta'? Mutanaqta'. خلاص? Who knows what mutanaqta' is? Mutanaqta' basically is the المتشددون في غير موضع التشدد. That's the definition in Arabic. The ones who go to extreme when you don't have to go to extreme. jokes, to the extreme. Like sometimes, when people get so mad at you that you scratch your face in the prayer and they make you feel like you're nothing because you did that. That's tamattu. People who go and call Burger King and ask overwhelm people with questions and they don't eat there after that. Tamattu. Enough tamattu. هلك المتنطعون. Never said that. Okay. 4 components of حسن الخلق. Who remembers them? Somebody else, someone who did not speak. 4 components of حسن الخلق. Osman.
Smile, help others.
Smile.
Help others. Refrain from harming others.
Refrain from harming, helping, and
be patient when they harm.
be patient when they harm you because they will harm you. Okay, guys. So number 1 is to stop harming people, refrain from harming. 2, number 1 is كف الأذى, refrain from harming. Number 2, بذل الندى, helping others. Number 3 is الصبر على الأذى, be patient when they harm you. Number 4 is الوجه الطلق, smile. We're given a halqa like this to make students hit it themselves and try to joke with them. What else? Okay, we're moving very fast here. What are the 3 foundations of seeking knowledge? Sayyidina Abdullah ibn Abbas radiallahu anhu, ترجمان القرآن. Muhsin, did you take any money from? So you deserve one, huh? When he was asked, how did you become Turjuman al-Quran? How did you become the interpreter of the Quran? What did he say?
He said his tongue would ask many questions. First of all.
Tongue that would ask too many questions, the right question. So asking questions. Number 2.
Second, his heart is understanding.
Understanding. Heart, that is understanding. And
He didn't get bored.
you don't get bored. Again, I always say, what is the most common complaint today? Okay, so I'm not gonna tell you anything if you're bored. Now, please. You have to exhaust yourself to be able to achieve something. Anything else that is left here? Don't forget the word tamalluq that we talked about. It might be in the definitions. What is tamalluq? Tamalluq. Tamalluq is something you only do towards Allah. You cannot do it to anybody else. Zayd.
It's when you humiliate yourself or embarrass yourself towards
Humiliate, exactly. Yesterday I was explaining tamalluq to people in the halqa. And then I said I don't want to use the word humiliation because people don't like to use it. Somebody said humbleness. I said, no, you're not going to be humble with Allah because you're already down to earth. We're already underground. Where are you going to go to be humble? Humble means you're there and you want to show that you're humble because you want to look that you're here. You want to act as if you're here. No, but Allah, you're already there. You're down there. So it's humiliation. Somebody says slavery. Yeah, I'm a slave. That's the one.
I think the better word is humility.
Huh?
I think the better word is humility.
Humility?
He just
Yeah, humility. Yeah, not humiliation. Yeah, humility. Humility is a great word.
Humility is something as humbleness.
Humility is not humbleness, so what?
Yes.
Humility. Zid. You answer the question. Very important foundation of usul al-fiqh. In usul al-fiqh, that's the last one by the way. In usul al-fiqh, we always study what? Quran, Hadith, Ijma'. See what you said right now? It's good you're in this class. Ijma' he added as-Sahaba. What about the Ijma' of other than Sahaba? Huh? I know where this comes from, but let's just say ijma' for now, because ijma' itself is impossible to achieve. Ijma' to have every single scholar agree on a doubtful matter, it's impossible. Anyways, so you study Quran, Hadith, ijma'. Let's just put the word Sahaba aside now for now, because we have to discuss it first. To know if it's ijma' al-Sahaba or ijma' of the scholars in any time, in any era, like today. Does it count or not? If all the scholars today did ijma', would it count or not? Would it count or not?
Yes.
Yes.
If it's possible, of course it counts. But if it's not possible, it doesn't count. It counts only when there is an evidence. There's a book called Al-Ijma' by Ibn Hazm. Right? That was this one. Al-Ijma' by Ibn Hazm. Just like this. Al-Ijma'. That's the Ijma' in Islam. That's the 36 things like this. Al-Ijma'. That's an ijma' in Islam. That's what the scholars agree on. What did they disagree on?
Everything else.
The rest of Islam. Go back to the library back here and you see what they disagree on. But you want to know what they agreed on? An ijma' has it. Ibn al-Munzir, brother. Ibn al-Munzir has an ijma'. خلاص? So last point here, last point for tonight. شرع من قبلنا. The Sharia of previous nations. I'm going to ask the question again. People who were here in that class, don't answer. People who did not attend, please answer. Do you guys follow the Sharia of Prophet Ibrahim or not?
Yes.
What's your name?
Hassan.
He said no.
Hassan.
Why did he say no? Because he wasn't here. Who else wasn't here? It's a trap. Stop it. Do you follow Sayyidina Ibrahim? Yes? You follow his ideas? Okay, or you follow Sayyidina Muhammad? But do you follow Sayyidina Ibrahim or Sayyidina Muhammad? Who's your prophet? Muhammad, not Ibrahim. Okay, I love you and I love your answer here. Because you actually said the right answer. Allah said to Rasulullah Muhammad what? ثُمَّ أَوْحَيْنَا إِلَيْكَ. We have revealed to you, Ya Muhammad, أَنِ اتَّبِعْ مِلَّةَ إِبْرَاهِيمَ حَنِيفًا. You have to follow the religion of Ibrahim. So do I follow Ibrahim or not? Yes. No, I follow Muhammad. Muhammad follows Ibrahim, ya ibni. Ya habib. This is usul fiqh called Shar' man qablana. If I have Sharia in previous nations, how can I as Muslim approach it? Who can remind us? And that was it in the mind. But we talk about this. We have three approaches, or three ayyan, because I want to be king.
Whatever is already approved by our Sharia.
So number one, ما أقرته الشريعة.
So,
The first section, or the first time is something was mentioned in previous nations, and Islam came to prove it, like akhlaq, like stories of previous nations, for example. What is the second type? Second type is, there's nobody speaking right there, in this corner. Second type, شرع من قبلنا, the Sharia of previous nations. Asmir.
I already answered, by the way.
You answered? No, that's sad.
He
Abdurrahman.
wants to answer.
He's so shy, just like reminds me of myself.
What
Okay.
is disapproved? So,
Disapproved. Give me example. Mohsen.
Killing yourself if you do a sin.
Killing yourself in previous nations. فَقُتُلُوا أَنفُسَكُمْ ذَلِكُمْ خَيْرٌ لَكُمْ عِنْدَ بَارِئِكُمْ. The Quran did not say when you sin, kill yourself. The Quran said, pray and you give to Rahman. This is between you and Mohsen. I don't know. Because he really took one. Last one. Yes, Abdullah.
Now they're approved or disapproved.
That's a big guy. Yeah. No, that's not approved. Orange. I didn't know that Abdullah. You only have green and red. Okay. I don't know why.
Green is haram or something.
Okay. You guys are good here. So if someone is not approved or disapproved, what is my approach? If I did it, it's not haram on me. Nobody can blame me. It's not blameworthy if I did it because it's not disapproved in my Sharia and it came from previous nations. Like what? We know we talked about some of the details in previous nations. Like the dog of the people of the cave was black. Was a female black. Okay, so what? Female black dog. The ants of Sayyidina Sulaiman alayhi salam, she was like, you know, sad and lying down and doing this, and she was a female. Okay? Female. Okay, so what? Female. Quran does not say it's not a female. Quran doesn't care about that. Quran cares about what? About the theme. What you learn from the story, not the color of the dog. Right? Okay. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك like next time, guys, very crucial. You have to come next time because I'm going to Egypt after that. Yeah, that's my last class. A month. Yeah, so you guys can do everything you want, and when I come back, I will fix it. Don't worry. It's your mess, you do whatever, mess it up, and once I come back, I'll fix it. Yeah.
Have you tested open book or closed book?
Huh?
Is it open book or closed book?
What's closed book? Of course. I mean, I almost explained everything. I give you everything. You have cheated today. You've cheated professionally. Sorry. Oh,